Welcome to the next installment of the Palladium Rift by Grinning Gecko character sheet on Roll20. I'm Grinning Gecko, and I'm going to be talking about how to use the abilities, Magic, Psionics, tabs, and maybe a couple other little things. So picking up where we left off, this is our human mystic. We've added some skills, a little bit of equipment, selected some combat skills, added a couple abilities. I discussed profiles. We created a couple modifiers here that get pumped into the profiles. And so now we have magic and psionics, which we haven't filled anything in yet for. So a mystic gets at level 1 8 spells from levels 1 and 2. So let's pick, doesn't really matter, pick Blinding Flash. So we take Blinding Flash, and this is a little bit annoying because this sheet for duration doesn't have the facility for, like, it's a number field as opposed to a text field. So I'm just going to write in here, before melees, PPE cost is 1. And 10-foot radius up to 60 feet away. So we're going to say 60 feet for the range. Whoop. And we just write in here, radius 10 feet. So we create that. We do not need to add this to the profiles because it doesn't have any mechanical modifiers. So we just add that as a spell. And then if we want to cast, so we can go into here, and we have some options in the sheet here. This one in particular, output ISP PPE damage uses to chat. So we check that, and then we cast a spell. We have Blinding Flash, and we click cast. Then it says that I cast a spell, Blinding Flash, leaving them 91 PPE, and it deducted 1 PPE from the current PPE. So let's find a spell that actually applies modifiers. Okay, so a spell that has some modifiers, I'm kind of skipping ahead in the spell list, but let's just use multiple image. So multiple image, spell level of multiple image is level 3 or 4. Level 4, so we just put in here spell level 4. This is just to kind of help track, it's just informational really. Range itself, so 0, duration is 1 minute per level of experience. We put starting duration is 1, duration per level is 1, and then here we can select minutes. These fields on the side here are pretty arbitrary, so if you have something that you want to track that's not covered by range, duration, or damage, you can, like, literally type in, put units as, I don't know, kilograms, anything. This is free form, so you can put whatever you want. So multiple image, saving throws -4, so we'll just add that here. 4. You could actually put that in here if you want, sure. Starting range, so -4 to save. And then that'll show up here as -4 to save. And this also gives you some bonuses. So it gives you a bonus of +2 on initiative, +2 to dodge, and +1 to strike. So we do that. Technically, this is only ancient strike, and the book doesn't differentiate, so I'm assuming it's only ancient, but if you also wanted to give a +1 to modern weapon strike, you could add that here as well. And then we do want to add this to our profiles, so we add that, and we go to our profile, and we create a new one, which is going to be Wilkes plus multiple image. So we go in here, we have our Wilkes profile stuff selected, but recap, if we didn't, we could go into the Wilkes profile. We want to replace the picked modifiers using this profile, so we click that, and that applies them over there. We can collapse this, and we can add multiple image, apply, and then just do a refresh for good measure. You can see that we've got the +1 added here, an extra +1 added here, and our dodge has an extra +2 added to it. So any spells that you have that you want to add, things like that, you can create a profile for. So then when we cast this spell, we can say, oh, casting is 7 PPE, so that's 7 here, and then, we cast the spell, notes it down here, marks off the PPE, and then we flip to this profile, because now we have multiple image. So now if we look in here, our active profile is Wilkes plus multiple image. So it's similar for psionics. We can go into psionics. Let's say summon inner strength. So let's summon inner strength. So this has again, it's range self. Duration is 10 minutes per level. And this gives us 10 SDC plus 2 versus poisons and toxins. And plus 5 versus coma death. So we now have summon inner strength as psionic. We do want to add this to our profile because we want to be able to add, make it part of our profile and add these bonuses. So we do that. And then let's grab something else like Psi Sword, because that'll give you a little demo of like a damage thing. So we'll add Psi Sword. It costs 30 ISP. Oops, I forgot the ISP for summon inner strength. So again, we can hit use, and it will deduct from your current ISP. So Psi Sword, even though they can't take it to the level 3, we'll just put it in here. So Psi Sword here. Now this one you're going to have to manage the damage manually because it's not consistently per level of damage. So we can just put it in. I mean, for Psi Sword, what I would actually do is go down here, and I would, if I had like paired weapons, if I was a, I don't know, a Psi Warrior or some other, like a Mind Melter that had level 7 martial arts that could use paired, then I would put the damage of both weapons in here. So this would be like 46 plus 46. And then I would also add 46 for main hand, 46 for offhand. So this is saying, like, if you're doing a paired attack, you'll end up rolling this damage. If you're only hitting with one hand, your main or your off, then you would hit your main or your off. And this one I would also add to profiles. So now if I am over here and I have, let's say, combat ready. So we have Wilkes plus multiple image plus summon inner strength plus Psi Sword. And we apply that. And then we hit refresh. So we are, you can see here under damage now that it's got the paired damage here and the individual. So, and this is also with the Wilkes rifle. So if you have, if you're flipping back and forth, normally I would only have like one weapon. I mean, I guess if you're shooting the rifle one-handed and you're using the Psi Sword one-handed, you could kind of do that. But normally I would not combine profiles with multiple types of weapons unless you're actually using them in both hands, because otherwise it'll aggregate all of the damage, which is not correct. So anyway, we have this combat-ready profile. We switch to it. We use our psionics. So we go back here and we summon inner strength. We did that there, so we'll just do a Psi Sword. So for now, we'll just have one Psi Sword, and then we can go into here, and we can roll a strike, and we get a modified 20. So let's say this is a paired strike. So we do this. Since this is a human, there's no damage modifier. This would be, if your like PS bonus would be like if you're doing SDC, it's attack, which adds like the damage bonus from your strength. Punch is going to add your punch modifier, which is here. And if you've selected like supernatural strength, then it'll add the supernatural punch. If you've added robotic strength, then it'll add robotic punch. Again, that's kind of a house rule, but I think there's enough examples of it that I like it. But anyway, normal human, doesn't matter. So we just say damage paired, no modifier, hit submit, and it rolls 8d6. If we're only hitting with one hand, we can just roll one hand and 20 points. And if, for instance, we're shooting from our rifle and rolling and hitting with one hand, you would roll your damage here for one, and then you would roll your damage for your rifle as another. So that's pretty much how Magic and Psionics work. If you have, actually one more example here. Let's say Call Lightning. Call Lightning is a good one. Call Lightning. So Call Lightning is a level 6 spell, I believe. Costs 15 PP. Range is 300 feet, I believe. Let me just quickly look it up here. 300 feet, yes. So range 300. It does not go up per level, so it's just 300 feet. Damage, though, is 1d6 starting and 1d6 per level, and we can say MDC here. And then this we would not need to add to our profile because it's just a damage attack. Like there's no strike involved. But if we did want to roll damage for it, then we can just do it directly from our magic tab here, and we can just say I hit you with lightning for 3 points of damage. So something else to note is that we have all these things in. We've added some things like per level and things like that. So if I go back to the core tab and I level myself up, let's say I go level myself up to like level 5. So I do that, and I can see now in the skills tab that all the skills are now level 5, and they've added well, we haven't put any percentages in yet. I'm just going to put something in. Let's say this is, I can't remember what it is, but like 60 plus 3 per level. So now it calculates and it determines that, at level 5, I would have this base plus the 15. So it'll do all that for the calculations. Same with combat skills, level acquired 1, and it's at level 5. So it's adding additional bonuses for like automatic calculations for levels 1 through 5. You can see under hand-to-hand assassin, it added a few additional description things that you get at, actually that's probably all from level 1, but it added some attacks here. Added some attacks. It added like additional bonuses from hand-to-hand at levels 1 through 5. And if you go into Magic, you can see now the Call Lightning is actually like d6 plus d6 plus d6 5 times because it's a level 5 spell, and that's 5d6 now. So if I were to roll this, I do that, and it does 5d6. And additionally, if I go back to my profile and I refresh, you can see here it's still just showing 3 attacks because I haven't refreshed since leveling. So once you level, you kind of need to go back into each of your profiles and hit refresh just for those auto calculations. If I refresh this, then you can see there's now 6 attacks. My initiative bonus has gone up because of Assassin. Some other bonuses have changed as well. One more thing you can do is within the combat skills, these are all freeform as well. So even though there are some, like I've added energy rifle and whip, and I've added like a bunch of proficiencies here that you can select from. You could also just go in here, and if you're pulling something from like Ninjas and Super Spies or something else, and you want to say like weapon for Ebola, you can just type that in, and then just add whatever the bonus is, and you can say level acquired. Anything that doesn't have an entry in the list will not do any auto calculations per level. So you'll have to like go and adjust these each time per level, but you can track any weapon proficiencies even if they're not already in the list. Same thing with hand-to-hand. If I wanted to say, let's see, so there's like Aikido. Let's say I wanted to add, I don't know, do I have Tai Chi in here? No, so let's say hand-to-hand Tai Chi. Then I could go in here, I would say level acquired 1, and I could go and add all the bonuses that it provides me, and then, whatever they are. And these will be automatically added to the profiles, whether for Sequel and hand-to-hand Tai Chi. The only time you selectively add to profiles is in Magic, abilities, Magic and Psionics. So abilities, these ones are bonuses, so we want to add them to profiles. This one is not, so we don't add it to profiles. Same thing with Magic. We have, Blinding Flash, which doesn't add to profiles because it doesn't apply any modifiers, and Multiple Image does, so we add it to the profiles. So abilities, Magic, and Psionics do not automatically get added to Profile Picker, to this, but combat skills do automatically get added, as do modifiers. So anything you add in here is going to show up in the modifier picker. And that is all for today, I think.